the marketing strategy, right? Because this is the genius part to me, right? Like being able to get people to believe this is real and to put their money into this legitimately to where you can live this lavish lifestyle. Like, what was that part of it? So now you got you got it all set up. You like, all right, now we need to get some real money in this thing. How did you start to raise money? What was that strategy?
So we were just doing press releases and then going and they had like a bunch of like these nerdy crypto chat rooms, right? And you just go pitch your ideas in them pretty much. And there's a thing called Bitcoin Talk. There was just a bunch of small scale
This like
things.
on Reddit or
Pretty much like a Bitcoin Reddit.
okay.
Exact same thing, exactly. That's really what it is. But then one day we saw out of nowhere, right? Like we had raised like $500,000 just off like hustling and bustling like every day, just like pitching that shit. And then one day out of nowhere, someone puts out this article and it says that Centratech is part of this bank, and it's like this old white guy, Cliff High, and $2 million came in. We're like, who is this guy? We didn't even know. So
some random
guy. Mm-hmm. And we're like, we jumped in our chat room like, yeah, we love that guy. Like, that's our guy, right? And people like swear by this guy. He's like he created some sort of like linguistics. I don't even know what the fuck you call it, really. He basically created this bot that searches the internet, right? But it made a mistake. And it basically overlapped us with a bank in his software. So he essentially put out a press release that Central looks like the real deal. 2 million comes in. And we were like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I remember sitting on my balcony. I was living in Lauderdale at the time, and I'm like, every day I was just refreshing, sitting on my shit refreshing. The car business, like I had kept a few cars, but I was focused on this, right?
Yeah.
I just remember seeing like another 100,000, like that big amounts didn't really come in yet, So like 100,000, 200,000, like another 500,000. I was like, what the fuck? Like this is wild shit. And then I hit up my boy, and then he was like, yeah. Cliff High, and like we're like, all right, let's look him up, And then we had created like everybody that creates a coin basically creates like a thing called the Slack channel, which is like a chat room. And then we're like in there, like yeah, like Cliff High, we had spoken to him. This is great news that he put out this press release. Basically just riding it out. And then Cliff High like backtracks on his Twitter or whatever. But people didn't sell. Like that was the craziest thing about this whole thing.
So did he get his money back?
So he wasn't the one that invested. He put a press release out, but
and
so many people
was sending in money.
So many people believed in him that they were investing.
Understood.
But maybe they didn't. Maybe they seen the press release saying that you guys were legit, and they didn't see the retraction.
No, they saw the retraction, and
so why weren't they?
It was just that right away we were like, all right, so let's jump on He retracted, and we reached out to him. We're like, let's jump in on an interview. And through that, it was like this frenzy in cryptocurrency talking about this big interview with Cliff High and us. And he killed us in that. We looked like my partner that took the interview, he looked terrible. Like everything, he called out everything. And just fucking, it was so bizarre because like nothing changed. We were just pitching like the people in the chat room and they would just believe us. But Cliff High was just smarter. He was just better.
He knew what was going on.
He really knew. Yeah. And he just basically shit on us in that. But
so I mean, what was my boy Cliff saying, man? Cliff sounded like he was legit, man.
Yeah, he was trying to help the people.
Yeah,
he really was. He got roped into this shit. Later down the line, it's crazy because we brought him on to work with us because after a while, like we had raised so much money.
Y'all made so much money, y'all brought in Cliff.
We bought him.
My boy Cliff came back.
Damn, everybody got a price,
Cliff
man. What was Cliff's price, man? What was Cliff's price?
We was just paying him as like
consultant?
Consultant. Just like $500K a year, some crazy shit like that.
Damn, Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff.
People still love him, so I feel bad for him.